Today, we're not just looking at a crime, we're diving into a masterclass of manipulation. We're going to break down, move by move, how one absolutely brilliant con artist took down a very careful thief, using nothing more than sharp thinking and some seriously impressive acting.
This is really the heart of the story, isn't it? You've got one guy who plans everything down to the last detail. And then you'll have a woman who can walk into a room, size up the situation in a heartbeat, and completely turn it to her advantage. Let's see who plays the better game.
You know, any great con artist will tell you, it all starts with understanding your target. So first, let's get to know the man who thinks he's in charge, a fellow named Horace Danby.
On the surface, Horace was the picture of respectability, a successful lockmaker, about 50 years old, well-regarded. But of course, he had a secret. He had a thing for rare, expensive books. A passion so strong, he funded it by cracking one safe, just one, every year. He was professional, he was predictable, and he had a very specific weakness. He was, well, the perfect mark. And don't get me wrong, Horace was good at what he did. His plan for this job was, he thought, flawless. He'd done his homework for 2 solid weeks, casing the place, learning everyone's schedule. He had his tools, he knew exactly where the safe was. In his mind, this was just another clean, simple job, in and out.
So there he is. Everything is going exactly according to his perfect plan. He's calm, he's in his element, he is in total control. And then a single sneeze. A tiny little sneeze from some flowers completely shatters that illusion. In that one tiny moment of weakness, a new player enters the game. And she doesn't scream, she doesn't panic. No, she sees an opening and she walks right through it with total, unshakable confidence.
I mean, what an opening line. It's so calm, so disarming. She uses his own sneeze against him to immediately start a conversation on her terms. With that one simple question, she completely hijacks the situation and takes control. It's brilliant.
And just look at the image she projects. Everything about her, from her red dress to her calm voice, is designed to make Horace think one thing. She belongs here. She's not acting like an intruder, and she's definitely not acting like a victim. She's playing the lady of the house, and poor Horace buys it, hook, line, and sinker.
So how does she do it? Really, how does she go from catching a burglar red-handed to making him her personal safecracker? We're about to break down her strategy, and it is a 4-step masterclass in psychological chess.
First, she asserts her authority to set the power dynamic. Then, she applies pressure to cut off his escape routes. Next, she plays the victim to completely reframe the situation. And finally, she goes for the knockout blow by exploiting his ego. Let's watch this master at work. Okay, step 1. Assert authority. With this one line, she clearly defines their roles. I'm the owner, you're the burglar. The source material even says she seems amused. She's not scared at all, and that throws Horace completely off his game.
And this just shows you how well her act is working. Horace completely misreads her confidence. He thinks she's amused, so maybe, just maybe, he can talk his way out of this. He thinks he can manage her. He has absolutely no idea he's the one being played.
Now for step 2, apply pressure. When Horace even hints that he might just run for it, she calmly shuts him down. Oh, I'll just call the police. Every potential move he thinks of, she has a calm, logical counter that traps him even more. She's boxing him in, and he doesn't even see the walls going up.
And now for the masterstroke. Step 3, play the victim. She invents this perfectly believable sob story. She's forgotten the combination to her own safe, and she desperately needs her jewels for a party tonight. It makes her seem urgent, a little bit foolish, and totally sympathetic. And with that one story, the entire reality of the situation flips. He's not a criminal threatening her anymore. Oh no. Now he's a skilled professional. He's the only one who can help this poor damsel in distress. She just transformed him from her enemy into her knight in shining armor. So the stage is set. Horace is completely under her spell, ready and willing to play the hero role she's cast him in. All she needs now is one final brilliant move to spring the trap shut. And this is it. Step 4, exploit his ego. She casually reaches for a cigarette, and Horace, so desperate to be the charming gentleman, to prove he's not just some thug, he forgets the #1 rule of burglary.
He takes off his gloves to light her cigarette. He's so caught up in the role she created for him that he makes a rookie fatal mistake.
And that's it. Game over. The con is complete. By appealing to his ego, she gets him to willingly leave his fingerprints all over the crime scene. He thinks he's earning his freedom, but what he's actually doing is signing his own arrest warrant. So Horace cracks the safe, hands over about 15,000 pounds worth of jewels, and walks away feeling like the luckiest burglar on the planet. But as you can probably guess, the story doesn't quite end there. For 2 whole days, he's feeling pretty good about himself. He kept his promise to her. Then, on day 3, there's a knock on the door. It's the police. Of course, his fingerprints are everywhere, and when he tries to tell his crazy story about helping the young lady of the house, the real wife, a 60-year-old woman, basically laughs in his face. The whole picture finally clicks into place for him, way too late.
So Horace ends up right back in the prison library. But now he spends his time thinking about her, that charming, clever woman who completely outplayed him. He finally realizes she wasn't the homeowner. She was another thief, just like him. Only she was smarter, and she was playing a whole different level of the game. You know, Horace gets furious whenever anyone brings up the idea of honor among thieves. It's this unwritten rule he thought they were both following. He actually believed that, as fellow professionals, there was a line she wouldn't cross. Oh, he could not have been more wrong.
Which brings us right back to the big question, doesn't it? Was this just a classic case of set a thief to catch a thief? Or does this whole story prove that the idea of honor among thieves is just a romantic fantasy, something a truly clever criminal will throw out the window without a second thought? It's definitely something to think about.